Why do we care about this? Well, if any legislatures out there decided that they wanted to get rid of no-fault divorce because it's a very state-specific thing, we have already lived through time periods where there was no-fault divorce, especially here in New York, where no-fault was only enacted in 2010. So attorneys like myself and those who are older than me had to come up practicing in a fault-based system, and we have a few tricks up our sleeves as to how we deal with those types of cases. Since the first divorces in New York were purely based on adultery, there was an entire cottage industry of people who could set up the photo op for the discovery of adultery. And you had to have graphic pictures, you had to have information about who this person was. It had to be more than just the inference. We're talking, the pic. So not only were there photographers, there were people who were willing to testify. Yeah, I hit that. And for people who were still be interested in trying to keep things amicable, you could always do an amicable divorce by entering into a separation agreement. That requires a certain amount of cooperation between the parties that sometimes even in an amicable divorce people don't have. But if pushed, if that's your only method of getting out of this thing, that is a way to get out of a divorce in a grounds-based system. What I find really interesting about this, there used to be that cottage industry, for adultery and proving adultery. Do we even need that anymore? We have AI. How will we even show? I mean, the court is having a hard time keeping up with AI. We can make an entire movie and put someone else's face on it, right? We can put someone else's face as the actor's faces. You catch my drift, right? Like, I think we're going to have a hard time. Most judges don't know what metadata is. Most judges think TikTok is bad. I am not in favor of lying to the court, and that is exactly why eventually the courts all and the legislatures all decided, hey, we need to move towards no fault because people are just lying to us at this point. We need to embrace the fact that we shouldn't care as a society why this relationship has not worked. We should just allow it to progress in a way that's functional so that these parties can separate. I say this a lot. I prefer a good divorce over a breakup when the parties are not married, because when you're not married, I've got to go to 3 different courts for you. I got to go to custody court, I got to go to child support court, and then I have to go to potentially civil court to do a partition action if you own property. That is kind of a nightmare. I can do all of that in one in the divorce if you've gotten married. So it's a little bit more convenient. I actually will make more money the other way, where it's inconvenient for you because it's inconvenient for me and it takes more time and I charge hourly. Maybe I'm crazy and I just don't want to live in a world where we have to fabricate reasons why people shouldn't be together anymore if they're just not happy. But I think that's precisely the point of why we're talking about this. If there's a move back towards a fault-based system, we are going to be putting people back into the same situation, and we are going to be faced with the same results because history repeats itself.